Hey guys, today we're on vacation. We do a family vacation in Galveston every year. We've done it for 20 plus years. And now we have an extra added on, Luke, who is the true cook. I'm not the cook.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, yeah, no, you're good. So we have everybody come, and he does fajitas the last couple of years, and we're gonna make ceviche, and he's showing us how to make it. So that's where we are today, and we're at our beach house. We're gonna show you how to make a ceviche. Later on, we're gonna show you a little bit about the fajitas that he makes. He's already got it prepared, but we'll kind of explain it, and then I'll put it in the ingredients below, and then I'll just show you everybody here. Galveston is a great place to go, and we have a lot of fun as family. So Luke, you're on.
We have a blast. No, this isn't just a normal day, right?
Yeah, this is a normal day.
It's not your birthday today?
Tomorrow
is your birthday.
But birthday month,
Happy
it really kind
birthday.
of starts today.
It does, okay. So while we were talking, we were discussing, we've got a bunch of limes here. And the main ingredient with ceviche is lime.
That's how you cook them.
And so we opened up one that looked okay on the outside, and this one looks pretty good here, but we opened up another one. As you can see, these start to brown, and you see this a lot with limes, and they're always really difficult to keep fresh. And so what I always do is I open it up, and if it's brown and real mushy, then I just go on to the next. We have a ton here, and so we'll find enough to make enough ceviche or enough lime juice for this ceviche. And extra trick that I've learned along the way is if you store these in Tupperware in the fridge, they'll last for 2 to 3 weeks. If you leave them out, 2 or 3 days.
We bought these a week ago in the bag at Sam's, and they didn't look like this a week ago. So if we did his little trick, we'd have fresher.
And that was probably $6-7, and you're always like, oh, it's not that much. It lasts a long time. 3 days.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have our shrimp here. We've already peeled it, and we're gonna devein it. And the number one rule with ceviche is you have to have fresh seafood.
So in Galveston, we went to Katie's Seafood Market, and we bought, with this we're using about a pound of shrimp?
I think this is maybe almost 2 pounds.
Okay. We bought 4, so we're just using a little bit because with everything you add to it and everything else we're eating, this is all we really need.
I'm not too good at counting, but I think it's about this size. It's usually 16 to 20 per pound.
And that's not the small, that's about the medium size.
So anyways, we're gonna get going, and we're gonna start going through these limes, finding the best ones.
I'm gonna cut them in half, and he's gonna decide which ones he wants to use.
And so what you were telling me yesterday about your food blog is that you like to use whatever you have.
Right. It's all about just using what's in your pantry.
So we happen to have 1 lemon, so we're gonna use it. And a lot of people will say do a 50-50 mix, but I think it comes down to preference of whatever, lemon and lime, very similar, but there's a little bit of a difference. I prefer lime because I think they're easier to squeeze and you don't have seeds to deal with. That's my thought on that.
I like lime, it's a little bit sweeter.
I'm not gonna touch that. I'm gonna.
So look at the difference in the color. So what would be the better?
That one right there. You can see this one's got a little brown in it. I think with the feel, it's not too bad. I'd do it. I just want to tell anybody. Yeah. Everybody fine, but that's beautiful.
Hey, our group won't know the difference anyways. They're just happy that you're a cook because they are not cooks.
So one other thing I've learned along the way making ceviche is we're gonna finish this later with pico de gallo and avocado. And in the past, I've started with the lime juice, the tomatoes, the jalapenos, onions, cilantro, all with the shrimp. And what they say is the best thing to do is you cook whatever fish you're using first, you discard the lime juice, then you add whatever you want into it, pico de gallo, avocado, if you want to put crazy fruit like mango or pineapple, and
so
then you remix it.
basically you're saying you cook it first?
You cook it first.
Okay.
And one thing with ceviche is we're actually not cooking the shrimp. So I'm not a scientist, but there's an interaction with the acid of the lime juice in the shrimp, and it breaks down the muscles, the tissues, to where it tastes like it's cooked. Like the texture, it firms up. So.
Hey, this is a perfect example of it being brown and not really.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad one. Oops.
Oh. And then it's always good to get some volunteers. We have, I think, about 20 people here, and they're all at the beach. They've left us high and dry.
Yes. And it's kind of raining outside right now, so we're doing it now. before everybody comes, but they still left us. I told you they are not cooks. Okay, so now we're deveining the shrimp. And he's gonna show us how to do that.
Well, so since we're on vacation, we're having to rough it. There's a lot of products out there where you've seen like your rod that would deshell it. Well, there's one out there, and I'm forgetting the name. It's got a little hook on it. And so you can deshell them and devein them very quickly, and it makes it
And you're sending me that app.
I am. I'm going to send you that link.
And when he says we're roughing it, we have very limited supplies on our knives and everything. So I'm using this huge thing, and he's using that.
So one way we can do is we can cut along the back of the shrimp like this, and you see all of, I think this is the intestine, or it's their waste. I don't really know, but it doesn't look good.
I've always been told it's their bile.
Right. And so whenever you're making shrimp, you obviously want it to look as good as possible.
Okay, so do you do it all the way? Because I just did a little bit. Do I need to do more than that?
No, that's good. I mean, because the whole key here is we're not necessarily always looking for the look of it.
So there's not really anything in there then.
That one may have already gone, but you could see. Yeah,
bit.
You can grab that right there.
See, that's all it is, a little string.
Now, one trick I've learned while dealing with shrimp is I used to go one by one, and I'd take it, I'd deshell it like this all the way around.
Now I bought these. They already have the heads off of them. They just have the shells and the tail on them.
And then I'd go and I'd cut along the back end and remove it, and I'd go each one over and over and over, and it is a task. So sometimes it's a one-man assembly line, but what I'll do is I'll deshell all of them, and then I'll go through and I'll cut all of them open, leave it to the side.
So he pre-cut all of these.
Right, and so that way you're not constantly having to put down your knife,
I see what you're doing.
retrain to figure out what you're doing. So I'll cut all these open.
If we're doing that, then I'll just take the stuff.
Well, I usually don't have a teammate, so I'm excited about that.
My knife is bad.
And
we're gonna go with what we got.
Sometimes working with this under running water is even easier because as you peel out that back strap, it gets sticks to your fingers. You have to constantly try to get it off, and then the worst thing that happens is you accidentally leave it in on top of one like this, and that happens often. So
yeah,
running water is always good nearby. But this can be a task, so always try to find a partner.
This is the tedious part. So his little thing and I'll try to put it in the bottom of what it is where you can find it, because did you get it on Amazon?
I did, and I want to say Firefly rings a bell, but I guess you said you can always post a link later.
Yeah, I'll post a link to what it is.
Yeah, and some free advertisement.
Not finding any of the little strings in these.
I'm gonna lose my credibility real quick once I slice myself open on.
Well, we have bad knives right now. We just go with what we got. So we've almost got these all deveined. We've got a system going here to get these all deveined. And then what will we do? Chop them up?
Yeah, we're gonna line them up and make it a little bit easier on us so we can do multiple at a time. That way we get to the beach faster.
Yeah, we want to get where the fun is. Fun and sun, because it is sunny out there now. And we've got all our family here. The way we've done the beach is my husband's mother had two sisters, so the three of them, and they grew up on Galveston Island. So, 25 years or 23 years ago, we started, actually probably closer to 25, we started going to the beach in Galveston, and we stayed at the same place on the front row, and their moms would tell us all the stories about Galveston, which Galveston has a lot of history. And the cousins, the second cousins, the third cousins, the fourth cousins, we came every year, and they all know each other like they're brothers and sisters. And so now the moms have passed, the grandmothers have passed, and we have decided to carry on the tradition. So it's 3 different families and extended families that come, and everybody that can come comes, and we try to do it as often as we can. We used to do it every year. Now we're trying to do it every year. And whoever can come comes, and who can't really misses it because they see all the fun we're having, and it's the only time that we all reconnect together. So we'll show you some videos of everybody all together later on.
So last year you were able to book this same spot while we were here.
Yeah.
So it was a great commitment because everybody said, okay, we're coming back. Have you not done that this year?
I have not done it yet, but Chris, he was actually working in Houston for a day, and so he came out to visit with us, Chris Turner, and that was the last thing he said. Are we doing this next year? We have to get it on the books now.
Have to.
You know, I'm like, do we have to plan it right now?
We
He's
do.
like, yes, we do. My wife already has 3 vacations planned. I want it on the books. So we got to get it worked out. And we've got lucked into a great beach house, front row. You know, the kids can just walk out to the beach, go over the sand dune, and you're just right there. And if you're in the house, you're at the beach. If you don't want to be on the sand, you can sit on the porch and be at the beach. And we all love it. And then their family are on Bayside this year, which is actually a great plus because then we have both sides to enjoy.
It's been great. I was not disappointed, but I was curious how it was going to be on the Bayside. And we have a
It's beautiful.
view.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Great patio.
And fun for crabbing, and yeah.
So I like lining them up this way. That way you don't have to do one at a time. Now these are slippery and we have a glass pan, so you want to be careful. You don't want to get any blood in your ceviche. So I'm just going to go
like
and
human blood.
And I like doing more bite size, especially with shrimp. I think a lot of people out there have texture issues with shrimp. So I think the smaller the better.
Oh, I think so too, especially with ceviche. Have you ever tried anything besides shrimp?
Absolutely. So I think the most standard one is usually with shrimp and snapper and halibut, but I've seen a lot of octopus in there as well, squid. So it's whatever you have, but I think generally you want to go with white flaky fish.
And right now in Galveston, like when I went to the fish market yesterday, we saw them come bring the boat in, and they were just dumping loads of red snapper in, and there were some really big ones. If I'd known that, I would have got one.
Oh, they're so
That would
pretty.
have been good to add to it. I haven't perfected my red snapper cooking it yet.
So what we said earlier though is, I think it's any fish you like, and then on top of it, it has to be fresh. I'm gonna split these up because I think I'm gonna lose it.
You want a better knife?
No. This is
a
great.
better one?
But I think now with how easy it is, I think no matter if you're landlocked, I think you can still get fresh fish.
Oh yeah, even at Sam's, and even if you get that frozen fish, which I buy a lot, and then you just thaw it out. I mean, for this, it's good.
I think so.
It's not as good as this, but it works.
Absolutely.
So we've got the shrimp all cut up now. Now, what do we do next with it?
So our next step is we're gonna put in the lime juice, and so we have, I think, about 2 pounds here, like we discussed. We've run out of limes, and so the key is you want the shrimp to be submerged in the lime juice. That way, there's an even cook.
Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, there's always a question: how long do I do it for? And it's preference. You know, I always go based on the color. Once, you know, we'll pull this out in 20, 30 minutes, and you'll see it's pink. It'll be pink and red and firmed up, just like if you were to saute them.
Yeah.
And you can always try one. If it's not to your liking, texture, color, throw it back in.
Because you can eat it raw, but...
You can. I mean, sushi, you know?
Yeah.
And this is fresh, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually really good.
I know. It is good. It is good. I've eaten it right off the boat when we've caught stuff before. It's really good.
So we're going to put this in.
You just want to make sure it's all covered.
Yeah, and so I think we just plopped everything in. We may, you know, have more shrimp higher than the level of the lime juice. But actually, this looks like it was perfect,
Maybe
calculated.
Good planning, Luke.
So we're gonna pop this in. You can leave it out. Most people say throw it in the fridge. You want to keep it cold. I've seen people do this on a boat in the hot summer, and so it doesn't scare me. But I think generally it's always a good idea. Throw it in the fridge covered. We'll do 20 or 30 minutes. We'll check the color. We'll take a bite. We'll see the texture. After that, we're gonna discard the lime juice, and then we're gonna throw in pico and some chopped avocado in with the shrimp, and then we'll serve them up with some tortilla chips.
You're gonna drain the lime juice.
We're gonna discard the lime juice though, because that's a lot of lime juice. Plus, there's gonna be, you know, a lot of impurities in there. It's just gonna be too limey. And
so basically, it's just like when you cook shrimp. You're looking for that pink texture, the pinkness of it, just like if you cooked it.
And you'll feel the firmness.
Yeah, you can feel it. And he also went ahead and did the pico ahead of time, and basically it's chopped up tomatoes and cilantro and onions and jalapenos. And what else did you put in it?
And I put a little adobo seasoning, which is salt, pepper, garlic, and that's it.
So what's adobo seasoning? Is that special?
It's not. It's something you'd find in the grocery store,
like
you might find it in the Hispanic market. But it's just it's like a seasoning. You know, I think it's very very much like Tony C's, Tony Chachere's, without paprika.
Okay.
You know, so it's real bland, or not bland, but real basic seasoning that will give you the salt profile without overpowering whatever you're doing.
Okay. So he's made it up, and the secret of it is to let it sit to get its flavors all meshed together. So he's got that done while he's doing. That's already prepped. And he's done that, and it's setting the same as this.
And I did lime juice in here as well. That's one other thing I felt. And what I like about making pico at the beginning is we can then take this and we can make guacamole. We can throw it in with a ceviche, and then people can have pico on the side. So it's a really good base for other things, and it's convenient.
Yeah. So one quick question, because I'm looking here. Did you use red onions or white onions?
I used red onions, and I think that's down to preference. I like red two reasons. I think it's a little bit more of an onion bite. I love onion. The other thing too, it's color.
Yeah,
you know, you get that more purple. It's a red onion, but it's purple, and it will look really pretty whenever you get the green avocado in here.
Yeah.
One last thing is that those shrimp will start to absorb the lime juice. So after 20-30 minutes, if you see that your lime juice level has gone below the shrimp and you still want to cook it, you can always add more. But don't be worried if you see
more
that it
shrimp
drops.
Or more lime?
More lime juice. Okay. That way. But I think we're going to be absolutely fine here. It will drop a little, but I think after 20-30 minutes, we're going to be wanting to pull this out. I think if you go more than an hour, you're fine, because obviously it's going to continue to set even after you're done. You have it setting out for several hours as people are eating. Hopefully that doesn't last that long. Hopefully people will eat it really quickly. I hope.
Well, the other thing is, I think if you leave it too long, like more than an hour or whatever, it gets mushy and it's just like cooking it. The shrimp isn't good. So you don't want to overcook it in the lime juice, just like you don't want to overcook it on the stove.
You're exactly right.
So.
Okay.
So the other question is, so you have this already prepped. We're waiting on that. We got this. So whenever we when we drain the lime juice and then we mix it together, then we're chopping up the avocados and adding it in then?
That's right. Yeah, and so we're gonna combine the chopped avocado with the pico with the drained shrimp.
Okay.
And then chips, crackers, whatever,
just however you want to eat it.
Yeah.
Right. I can't.
I'll just use my hand.
Yeah, I don't need anything with it. Okay, we've been at the beach. Got my beach chair now. Been out there tanning. Luke came back in and checked the shrimp, and it's ready to go. Show them the texture of it or how it looks.
Well, let me grab a fork. Is it right there? So I came in at about 25 minutes, and I'd say it's about medium. So it's right where I like it, but we let it go for another 20 minutes to get real firm. You can just see the color, and you can go back in the video earlier and see how translucent it was, and now it's white. And if you want to take one off and give it a try, but but really limey, right?
Yeah, very limey.
So we're gonna discard it, and then we're gonna
need to
cut up the avocado.
Here, let me get that for us. Let me get the knife. It needs to be wiped off.
Let's see if I can do this without ruining it. Just lost a few. So.
It's always good to have an assistant.
Yes.
You'd have to show Kelly is his assistant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Why don't you come in here and introduce the sous chef? I said earlier that I never have help, but it's not true. I usually have someone running around that will deal with all my direction and instruction.
I'm usually the helper. Yeah. Probably not as good as Jody though.
I don't know. She's doing pretty good. She's telling me all the things that she's learned to cook.
All right, so I think now we're ready. We're gonna slice up an avocado, throw it in there, and then we'll throw in the pico, and I think we'll be ready to go.
Okay. We're gonna do 1 or 2.
I was gonna start with one,
Okay.
and then go from there, kind of see how it looks. That is beautiful avocado. A lot of people slice it directly in the husk. In the past, I've used a really sharp knife, and I've gotten straight through the husk into my flesh.
Oh no.
So I always try to use a.
So funny story, last year, Kelly's mom bought avocados and she was peeling them, not doing this, and
Like you peel a potato.
yeah. So they're showing her the way to do it. Show them how you just took the seed out, because not everybody knows that.
Yeah, so
apparently her mom didn't know it.
I always, you smack it, and you get a hold of it, and then you just turn it either clockwise or counterclockwise. And if it doesn't go, just start over, but be careful, because if you put too much pressure, it can slip easily, and I've done it before. and the more comfortable you're doing it, the more likely you are to get yourself. So
this is the easiest way to cut an avocado up.
it is. I see now a lot of people that eat this every day, and I was surprised to see it. They'll actually take the avocado and they'll slice all the way through with strips. Yeah, and what I found is you actually get, I guess, more avocado at the end, but it's also maybe a better portion if you're having it in a taco. But for this is the best way.
I've never done it all the way through.
We have another fork.
Yes, we can do that.
And I'm gonna break it up that way. You don't want it to become guacamole inside of it. You still want to have some of the cubes. So I'll work it around like that. And
then just around the edge.
Yep. Plop it out, and then it should break apart whenever we start mixing everything else.
You're putting it into not into the pico, but into the.
No, straight in here, because this pico we may use later and make guacamole. We may have it straight on a taco. So we're gonna take all the pico over into here.
Okay.
All right. I don't know. What do you think? You want? I love avocado, so I can always do too.
So
Let's do it. You do? All right.
Otto says more.
Otto says more. We're doing it.
Show Otto. He says more. Okay, watch how he does this one.
And then turn. And do it with your thumb. Sometimes I go straight in the trash and just whip it. It'll go right in.
You can plant them and have avocado trees.
And now if you only use half an avocado and you're worried about it browning, if you leave that seed in and wrap it in saran wrap, you can keep it in there for another day.
Oh, really?
Yep. You may have a little brown on top.
I'm never that lucky.
Well, I just eat it.
Yeah, they don't last.
So it's all preference, right? So we like a lot of avocado.
Our family obviously does.
Oh, yeah. All right.
A couple more.
Woo. We're almost there. Now, what do you think about preference on tomatoes and the pico?
It's like a lot.
All right, let's just, doesn't have to be exact.
Look at that. That looks yummy.
We eat that tonight.
We eat it right now.
You want to taste it? You want to be the taste tester?
Yeah.
Here's a spoon.
Hey, but you have to fake it if it's not good, okay?
Yeah, you got to say it's good no matter what.
You know, one thing we haven't added to it right now. Oh, that's a big bite here. Let's get
Get
you
a small one. You want small.
Let's get a little avocado on there for you. Ooh.
And a little.
Oh. What do you think? Grab that. Good? All right.
Good stuff. It's a winner.
It must be good. Ari's good at faking it.
No,
But-
I think he likes it.
You can add more salt to it if you want. I think with the salt from the
I don't
chips
taste
and
any
the salt that's in the pico,
I don't taste
you want to add salt to it? What do you think? It's your call.
a little bit.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
I got some salt over here.
Where's my sous chef?
Here he
I don't know where
comes.
the salt is.
Oh, you
It's
know
in the
what?
bag.
It might be over there.
No.
Here it is.
We can use, this was the adobo I was telling you earlier.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what? But this one's been getting a lot of grief lately.
Yeah,
but,
we want the brand.
Yeah, you know what? I like the brand, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not too worried about it because they make a good product.
Yeah, Goya has a good product.
So,
Okay, let's make that.
all right. And we can always add more if needed. I think that's pretty good. You want more pico in there? The only reason I want more pico is I think the color.
Yeah, a little more color. Plus, it just looks more. And that's just all preference, what you like. That looks really good.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
So you can eat it with a fork. You can do it with a tortilla chip. I like both.
Okay, now let me taste test.
All right, another taste test.
Where's your spoon? Chips? Oh, this, yeah, try it with the chips.
All right. What do you think? All right.
It'll be good tonight, won't
Oh, I like you. I need you around all the time.
it? Good stuff. So we're serving that, and we'll show you next, but we're serving that with fajitas, and that'll be we'll do that on another segment, but we'll have that for you too. But this is our pico de gallo, and our ceviche with shrimp, and you can do it with other fish too, the same way. I hope that you enjoy this video, and you're going to enjoy the fajitas next, and we're going to show you all the family when they're all eating it. Be sure and like my channel and subscribe so we can do more shows. I might even be able to come back to Houston and do some more with Woody.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's got all kinds of good stuff to show us.
Anytime. What's your sign off? I always say,
Yeah, how do we say it? Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you got to say it right. Bye.
Bye.